We are so pleased and lucky to welcome in our studio the man who changed the world of animation for good and for long, as priceless as irreplaceable. Hello, Richard Williams.
Hello.
I'm sorry for this tremendous introduction. Last time you were in Annecy, you were presenting The Thief and the Cobbler.
Yes.
And a short on world premiere, Prologue, of which you thought it was probably your best work.
Yes, so far.
So far. Do you still think that?
Yes, yeah, it's the only thing I've been completely pleased with ever. And now my new work, which is a continuation of that, it seems to be as good or maybe better.
Would you say that the shorts are the masterpieces of animation because you can wrap up something real precise and sharp?
Well, because I have now no deadline, only the death line. So I have time to get it right. It's a slow process, as you know.
When you were asked what was your main goal as an animation director, you answered, and that was 3 years ago here in Annecy, you have to grip the audience and never let it go.
Yes.
You have to make the animation so compelling, you can't escape. You have to watch this.
That's right.
Have you felt gripped recently? And who are the new animators of our world that you are following?
I can't say. It's difficult with me. I don't see everything because I'm so focused on my own work that I'm not up to date with a lot of the new stuff, which seems to be very good. But who always astonishes me is the best Milt Call. And I take lessons from him still. I have his work, which when I was at Disney as a director, I could Xerox my favorite scenes from the Jungle Book or whatever. And I remember at this Christmas, I had a week and I studied his work again. And he's a genius. He's the genius.
He's your genius
of movement,
forever.
Of performance, movement, command, he takes you by the...
Yeah.
Doesn't let you go. It's perfection.
Yeah,
I'm sure musicians would be studying Bach manuscript. They would feel the same way.
Okay.
Because this guy, it's just perfect.
He just touched it, the perfection.
And he was very encouraging to me. He was...
He was older than you?
Oh, much older.
Much older?
Yeah, he was he died about 30 years ago. So 20 years older or something. Okay.
But he still guides you in your work, and that's
yes,
that's a beautiful story.
Whenever I think I'm really terrific, I'm getting terrific in my old age, I immediately take out his stuff and take a good look, and I think,
okay. In every profession, and maybe even more in arts, transmitting and teaching to youngers is at stake, and you have been quite active about this since the last decade. 10 years precisely have passed since the Animators survival kit was launched.
Yes.
How do you feel today, 10 years after that, about this project?
20, I think 20 years.
Oh, sorry.
We wrote the book, I think, 20 years ago, nearly.
Maybe that's the toolkit that was launched afterwards.
Yeah. And the toolkit came much later, the 16 DVD box set. And then we did master classes. That was 20 years ago, maybe more, maybe 23.
So you are feeding this kit years after years, and
well, with the materials, I'm not doing master classes anymore.
Okay. But you're still accompanying the youngest, and especially this year in Annecy, you are the patron of the MIFA campus.
Yes, I'm very honored.
How do you feel about this role, and how do you take it?
Well, I think if you have the material, if you have the knowledge presented to you, you can go much faster. You know, a person like me, I had to take it slowly from each great guy. I was very lucky to know them. And they didn't want to give away their information when they were very competitive. They were killers. And with each other, very tough guys. But when they realized they were going to die, they loosened up and thought, oh, maybe I better show somebody this stuff. And I came in. I was the one who realized I didn't know any of this stuff. So I came and I would stand under them and catch the stuff. And so if you have the like with the book, I know Ollie Johnson, who wrote a great book on The Illusion of Life with Frank Thomas for Disney. And Ollie, when he saw my book, he said, oh, I wish I had a book like that when I started out. So I think there's so much information in it, if you go digest it properly, you can get there very fast, if you can draw, or if you can imagine creatively, get the craft.
Speaking of drawing, that's what you said 3 years ago when we asked you what would be the advice to give to the young generation, and you said, go to art school and do live drawing.
Yes.
If you understand the reality, you can make more fantasy.
Yes.
And if you understand the real, you can do the unreal.
Absolutely.
Would you add something to this advice for the 2018 advice from Richard Williams?
I can add an exclamation mark on it.
Perfect. Excellent. I just have one last question that we ask to all our interviewees. Calling upon your immediate creativity and imagination, if you had to produce during the night a little animation movie on this festival and on Annecy, what would be your angle and what could be the title?
Woof.
Yeah, I know that stuff.
Woof. Oh, God. Maybe you'll have to cut this out.
We can.
Oh, my goodness. There's something about the growth of animation, the explosion of animation. So I would call the title Explosion, Animation, Annecy. How's that?
That's perfect. Thank you very much for being with us, and we wish you a very good day in Annecy, and maybe you're staying with us a few more days
yes.
during the festival.
Yes.
So thank you again for being there.
Thank you.